Hi everyone, this is Valerie with Serenity Matters 1111, and this is your Scorpio, August 15th through the 31st, 2018 tarot reading. Please remember that this is a general reading and may not resonate with everyone, so if it don't apply, let it fly. As per usual, I shuffled the cards before I started recording, so I'll go ahead and lay them out for you now. And covering you is the Moon in reverse. Crossing you is the Three of Wands in the reverse. Crowning you, the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. Beneath you, the Tower in reverse. Behind you is the Six of Cups. Before you is the Six of Pentacles. The card representing you is the Nine of Swords. Your environment card is represented by the Ten of Swords. Hopes and fears, the Three of Swords. And before you, or the final outcome, is the Eight of Swords. All right. Looks like a kind of heavy reading for a lot of people. I know we're going through some tough times right now. We've got a lot going on. We've had this new moon. We've had an eclipse in the new moon. We've got Mercury in retrograde. We just had the Lion's Gate occur on 8/8/18, which has to do with a time of transformation. But part of transformation is recognition of what's not working, and also loosing some of that emotional, how do I want to put it? Emotional, I don't know, like a watershed. I'm thinking of the term watershed. We have to let go of some of that emotion, and the best way to let it go is to process it, right? And sometimes that's very uncomfortable to have to do. But moving on into the reading, let's get down to some more particulars and see what's going on here. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Strength card in the reverse. Now, in the upright, the Strength card can represent a Leo. Whoops, I apologize. Can represent a Leo, and it has to do with inner strength, strength of character, right? In the reverse card, it could be that you may be feeling vulnerable in your life and incapable of dealing with some of the emotional stress that you're going through. Now, we saw as a card representing you, the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords can be energy that has to do with emotional pain, right? Now, this has to do with what she's thinking, right? Swords is the card of, or Swords is the suit of air. And so for some of you, it may be that someone close to you is engaged in drama queen energy, or if this is representing you, and for most of you it probably will be, given that it's a card of you, this can be about dealing with intellectual or emotional pain. Now, when I say intellectual pain, what I do mean is sometimes we can make a situation worse because we're worrying. This is the anxiety card. So if some of you guys have been in a place of anxiety, this could be what's going on. It may be that you're disconnected from your inner strength because you're going through situations that are provoking anxiety within you. We also have in here the Tower reversed. So let me slow down and go into the cards in order that they come out. And we'll see, let's look at this a little more closely, I think. In here we have the Moon in reverse. Now, in the upright, the Moon has to do with cycles and rhythms. We just had our new moon, so that can be an interesting experience, to say the least. This is Saturday, so I think that's the 11th of August. On my non-work days, I don't know what's going on. But we have here the wolves in the background. They have to do with family, but they also kind of remind us of the wild beast within and the need to check that beast. When the moon is in the reverse position, it can indicate that clarity is coming into play. Clarity. And that may be what some of you are having some anxiety about, is that you know what's going on, right? In the reverse, the moon still has to do with those cycles and rhythms. And again, retrogrades, new moon, eclipse, all of that has to do with looking at our inner life. Libra has been looking a lot at their shadow side. That just came out in one of the readings that I've done today. Same thing with this moon card, looking at the inner life of something and dealing with what all that means, right? Some of you have gone through some major transitions recently in your life, and it's bringing a great deal of stress. Now, the card that's crossing you, this influence that's coming into play, is the Three of Wands, but it's in the reverse. In the upright, this is about ships coming in, things that you've been waiting for, positive, successful arrivals, looking out and seeing that the efforts that you've made are bringing home positive fruits to bear, material gain, emotional, financial success, the knowledge that you're doing well, all of this. In the reverse, this has to do with delays to your ships that are coming in, metaphorically speaking, of course, unless you are one of those people that does that type of trade or that type of work, right? I don't know why I'm babbling. At any rate, this is about a delay to that. Something's happening, you have this incoming information that this is slowed for whatever reason. Your cycle is being slowed. You thought it might be happening in this moon cycle. It is not. It is going to be delayed. How much it will be delayed, I can't really say at this point, and that may, excuse me, that may vary for each of you. We're also seeing the same kind of information here with the Seven of Pentacles, also in the reverse. In the upright, this is about waiting for something which is coming in. This card represents what's on your mind or what you're thinking about. So in the reverse, I would usually think this has to do with it's harvest time, this stuff is coming in. Now, clearly in the upright, this is going to be on the way, but this would indicate the delay. Now coming out, we're saying that what you want is, I feel like there's some kind of impatience that whatever it is you're waiting for is not coming in as quickly as you were hoping it would do, and that's creating some level of stress within you. Now the card beneath you is the Tower card in reverse, and the Tower has to do with things that we build in our ego, the erection of karmic-based relationships. Anything that we build that is not for our highest good, but that is for ego, money. Not that there's anything wrong with wanting to create money in your life, but when you create money to better your life for your children and so on, that's a different thing. If you erect something, you build a monument to feed your ego, then that's a different type of energy, and it probably won't last. In the reverse, the energy is pretty much the same as in the upright position. It's this idea that we're tearing down something that was built on an ego. There's a dissatisfaction overall with some of this energy here, and there's a clarity about that. In this, though, the reverse may not be as intense as in the upright, but if we don't choose to let go of things of our ego, the ground will be knocked out from underneath our feet. So where are the places that you're putting your ego into that, right? Is there a situation, maybe we join up with the wrong company, maybe we join up with the wrong person, maybe we had an idea that was built on ego and we're dissatisfied with it. We wanted some kind of a reward to come in, and we got what we wanted, but it wasn't what we expected, and then we have to look at this internal. Our truth is coming in for us, and it's uncomfortable. We have to look at where our ego played a role in creating the situation that we now find ourselves dissatisfied with. So there's looking at that. Now behind you is the Six of Cups, which is about the happy children. This is about the friendship and the reunion and the friends from the past, the ones that you love the most, that are your soulmate children coming in. These could be soulmates of any sort. It could be the romantic kind. It could be the, how your children can be your soulmate, or your pets, or anything like that. I almost feel like this was some kind of a wish in a way, and that there's some sort of a clarity. It's kind of like, sometimes we idealize things, and when we idealize things and then the reality comes to play, we can find ourselves feeling very dissatisfied with that, right? this was my dream job, this was my dream thing, whatever. Then it comes in and we realize how much paperwork is involved, or how much accounting or bookkeeping, or that we got to stay up all night every night and deal with our new business that we were trying to start. And we're thinking, I really don't love this job or this business. What I really thought was that I was just going to take it off and be totally successful with it with very little effort or anything like that put in. Again, this may not be for everyone, so please take it as it resonates. But there's that sense of, I thought it was going to be easier, and it's not. It's harder than I thought it would be, and I'm still waiting to reap the rewards of my recent choices. That hasn't come in yet. And then we see the Six of Pentacles in the future, which is the reverse card. This is more of same. This is a card indicating dissatisfaction, because this here indicates a lack of balance, right? This card here has to do with generosity, but also with give and take. These two kids are in a balance with one another. They're both recipients of this generosity, but they're also doing things to help in that relationship as well. They're helping the man. Maybe they're doing things like, or the adult, they're doing things to help as well, chores around the house or something like that. There is a give and take. Right? He knows that he's teaching them how to do things to the level that they're capable of doing that, and they're enjoying earning the money from him. There's a balance in this relationship. In the reverse, it's an imbalance. It's someone's doing all the giving and someone's doing all the taking. And that's very bothersome and burdensome for you. And that's where this is coming into play, this Nine of Swords energy. This is about dissatisfaction. This is about being tired. This is about having emotional and intellectual stress and pain. And not being happy with this new energy that's coming out. Maybe you're giving all the time. You're waiting for your ships to come in. You're waiting for that success with that, where you can ease back and say, whew, thank goodness, finally, those startup steps that I had to do with my new business are starting to pay off. Now I can actually hire a staff and relax. Or maybe there's some other type of energy and going in here. If this has to do with a new relationship that you've been in, it could be that you got together with somebody and you find that it's one-sided and you're dealing with a great deal of pain because of that. One of you's a giver and the other one's a taker, and it's creating a total situation of pain for you in here. Now, in the environment, we see the Ten of Swords, which is the next progression from the Nine. Now, this is backstabbing energy. Backstabbing energy. This person's lying face down in the dirt. All these swords. Again, this could be that you're feeling backstabbed, or stabbed in the back because somebody wasn't pulling their load, pulling their freight. Maybe they were talking badly about you, or maybe you put your money in the wrong bank or the wrong account or whatever, and something collapsed from under you in a sense. This owl gives us the vision. Now that this has happened, we can see clearly what it was. Maybe there were warning signs, maybe not. But in this type energy here, the good news is that the pain and suffering from the environment will have its ease with that. If there's some way to find a helpmate or somebody like that might be able to help you as you're dealing with a lot of the stress, please be sure. Now is the time for self-care, no excuses. It's about taking time to find a way to ease that burden. And if it's not going on at home, if the imbalance of help versus or the imbalance of give and take is occurring at home, you may need to seek outside solutions and see if there's something you can do for that. Now, this is the hopes and fears, and the fear card here indicates there's a lack of, there's a three-party situation possibly. There's some kind of emotional pain going on, right? There may be jealousy, there may be envy. For some of you, it could be that the person that you put your life together with, you've discovered that there's cheating or some other type of relationship. Maybe that person's involved with somebody else. You've been waiting for your love relationship that you wanted, and the truth is now out. We see the clarity here coming out underneath this moon that this person's not in your best interest. He or she's been cheating, and there's a third-party situation going on. We We've talked with Scorpio too about pregnancy and so on. For some of you that have given birth, it could be that you're dealing with the newness of dealing with a new baby, and there's some hardship that's going on with that as well. Sometimes we romanticize and we fantasize it. Oh, children will make everything wonderful. But a lot of times, especially early on, they can bring a great deal of stress. They can bring sleepless nights. So be careful that you're taking the time out to address your own personal needs, that you're allowing yourself to have a date night with your partner if need be, and maybe even that you have somebody come in, family, friend, nanny, whatever that is, to help you relieve some of that so that you can get some sleep. Now, the final outcome card here, the Eight of Swords. This is a person in a prison of her own creation. She's blindfolded and tied, and this has to do with her own way of thinking about the situation. Whereas in the Ten of Swords, we saw the backstabbing was coming from an outside source. And being the 10, this is reaching a conclusion in the environment. So there's that. However, the future card, coupled with the card that is also in the future, this is the final outcome, and this is the future that we're moving towards. Excuse me. This has to do with perhaps perpetuating this situation through our own thought processes, and possibly some resentment going on here too, especially if there's that one-sided giving situation in your relationship. So be very careful that you're paying attention to what your needs are, and also setting yourself up in your situation or your environment for success. Reconnecting with your sense of strength. Turn this card upside down, or rather I should say right side up. Right? Allowing this energy here to come through so that you could take your blindfolds off, get yourself out of your self-imposed prison, untie your arms so that you have all your complete and total faculties about you. But it may mean that you need a great deal of rest right now. So see if you can't arrange for that. Some space away, some time for yourself in meditation and reflection. Self-care is very key right now for you. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do here is shuffle our Animal Wise Tarot by Ted Andrews and select a card. I will read the passage in the book because he just does such a wonderful job explaining the animals, their behaviors, and also how that can relate to us as individuals. So I do ask that Spirit help guide us to the correct card or the best card for Scorpio in August 15th through the 31st, 2018, that may provide Scorpio with wisdom, guidance, help, healing, solutions, problem solving, proper vent, whatever that is that the Scorpios need for that period of time. Help for Scorpio, August 15th through the 31st, 2018. The cards are really tight right now. It's funny how it can really shift depending on the sign I'm doing. Sometimes they just fly out, and right now they feel tight and constricted. And so we're seeking help for the sign of Scorpio for August 15th through the 31st, 2018. Okay, I'm just going to cut and see. All right. So we have Elephant, which is the card of justice. Ancient powers of justice at work. It is a major arcana card, meaning that this energy has to do with spiritual journey. And let's see this card here, justice. Ancient powers of justice at work. Okay, the elephant reminds us that spiritual laws of justice are at play within life, even though they are not always easily recognized. Elephant can help us recall that justice will be given out in some situation around us, and it will be fair, serving as a reminder to trust in the lessons of the past so we don't repeat them in the present or in the future. Its appearance confirms that the right decision has been made. The elephant is a symbol of royalty and fertility. As the largest mammal walking the earth, elephants awaken awe and wonder. And true spiritual justice will do the same thing when we see it at play within our lives. Elephants are tremendously caring and nurturing to each other. They demonstrate great strength and community, mourning those who are dying. Their range of emotions is equal to our own, and they often demonstrate them more easily and more naturally. Why am I not surprised by that? One of the most outstanding characteristics of the elephant is its trunk. Although it has relatively poor eyesight, it does have an acute sense of smell. I hope that's not blurry, that card. Although it has relatively poor eyesight, it does have an acute sense of smell. It breathes fragrances in through its trunk and discerns much about what is happening around it with this sense. Those for whom elephant has appeared would do well not to trust what they see, but what smells right, especially where important decisions are concerned. Both age and gender, each with specific roles, divide the elephant society. Cows and calves live within all-female herds led by a wise old cow. This reflects the ancient tradition of the three expressions of feminine energies: child, mother, and wise crone. Male elephants run in bachelor herds. Many societies existed in which there were sacred teachings and roles by gender for the creative life of the whole community. Elephants demonstrate great loyalty and affection to each other. Older calves take care of younger siblings. Grown elephants help the sick and wounded. In the elephant are the ideals of true society. When elephant appears, justice will come, as well as will opportunities to reestablish powerful family and societal ideals once more. What's interesting is I was kind of hearing that for our new mothers, that it may be that they need to have grandmother come and help them out while they're caring for the little one. For others of you, it may be that there's a wise elder in your family, in your home, in your neighborhood, in your environment, at your church, at your temple, who can help you with decision making. Somebody who can help you as you're dealing with the burdens, as you're trying to figure out where you're going. Somebody who can be of wise counsel to you. Some of you dealing with a great deal of emotional distress may need to seek counseling or therapy or some sort of coaching from someone, maybe not even a relative, but a member of your community who can help you with some of these types of issues. Don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help. Sometimes that's the wisest and most powerful thing we can do in a situation. And it takes a great degree of strength to be able to ask for help when it is needed. So there's no shame in asking for help. Human beings have unbelievable language skills. We have the best language skills on the planet, and there's a reason for that. We would never need to have language skills and abilities, and everyone does, whatever the culture, whatever the language spoken, all people have it, all human beings. So we wouldn't have this ability if there wasn't a need to use our language, to ask for the help that we need, and to be open to the suggestions that come in. Now, Ted Andrews, the author of this book and the creator of this deck, recommended some questions for us to ask ourselves, and they are as follows. Are we repeating lessons of the past by responding to situations as we have always done? Do we not trust our instincts, judging everything on its appearance? Do we need to be more discriminating? Are we not responding when something doesn't smell right? So with that in mind, that ends our session today. And I thank you, Scorpio, for joining, and for cross-watchers as well. If you feel inspired to do so, please like, comment, share, or subscribe. And I will talk with you again on September 1st. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. I love you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.